I feel like that's the perfect way to open each one of these parts of the lesson. Welcome back. Now we're still in lesson 1, part 2 of breathe. How did you like the first part? Now we're going to get into some strategy. So I suggested in the last video that it would be awesome if you guys all practiced a morning making ritual. The morning making ritual, since I know it works and it had incredible results for people who did the challenge. So once you do the morning making ritual, which is read, pray, meditate, journal, and read Happy Pocket, now I know you can see it the correct way, then make some time to ride on that beautiful energy that you've created through breath, and do a stint of writing every day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I'd like it to be an hour. Even 5 minutes can get you some great results because you've already done all this preparation through breath to be deeply present. And the other cool thing that breath does is it helps you get in touch with your emotional brain, not the logical brain. So it's a short circuiting, which is what we're always looking for if you want to write compelling content and you want to go deeper, which many of you talked about. And how do you do that? And that goes back to my new expression for this course, slow down to speed up. If you slow down in breath, it will slow you down. You will access your soul, your spirit, your heart, and it's a different language, and your voice sounds different, and different kinds of images will come to you, as well as you honing that split so you can refine your ability to see the world as a storyteller and your own life in the same way. Pretty cool. Oh my goodness. So I said I was going to give you some strategies. So you're going to be doing a stint of writing. 15 minutes is cool too. After the morning making ritual, that's all about your breath. One reason I'm doing that is because I have a default and I have a history of being someone who forgot to breathe. Does anyone feel me? Were you like that? Maybe you are like that now. I mean, I can get like that when I'm nervous or when I'm wanting to show up for you guys. So just so you don't feel like, oh, I don't have this down, it's a practice. That's what's so beautiful about it. And I absolutely spent most of my life shallow breathing, and it affected everything else. In fact, it fed anxiety. So this is a really incredible tool that will completely connect to gaining confidence, because you have this this method in your back pocket, in your nostrils, in your lungs, in your mouth, in your decision-making brain, to just stop and take a pause and breathe if you're feeling anxiety, and see if your natural confidence doesn't flow back. The confidence that we're now connecting to your writing. So it's pretty exciting. So say you do that stint of writing. The first suggestion I always have for people, if you want to improve your writing, and also you just want to see what the heck you wrote, is you take whatever you wrote and you celebrate. Yay, I wrote something. I overcame the existential angst of the blank page. Woo! And you celebrate, and that's awesome. And then shift into what works and what doesn't, or how does it sound, or so forth. The best way for you to do the first pass on something you've written, even if it's just a little paragraph, is read it out loud. And here's how I want you to read it out loud, how I invite you to. 3 steps. I know there's all these steps all over the place. Do you liking that? Give you some structure. You got your spiral, you got steps, spiral staircase. All right. So what you do is, step 1, what do you think it is? Breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathing also helps you get deeply present, and that is something that's going to help you stand out as a leader in your personal life and in every other part as well. So then you breathe. The second step is you slow down. Usually we speed up our reading voices because we don't feel comfortable reading what we've written, especially we just dash something off and we just speed up. We don't even know it. So slow down. And the final thing is my favorite one. The third step is read it like it's the best thing that's ever been written. How fun is that? That, my friends, is a very effective way for you to build confidence. The more you do this, just try it. What I invite you guys to do, I hope you're watching this on the first day of the course, because I hope that you'll dive right in and commit, just like I'm inviting you to do and I said I was going to do. And then you'll get to see, because you'll have the container of our 4 weeks together, you'll get to see what happens during this period of time, and you'll feel your confidence building, and we'll chart and track what's happening in your expression, in your content too, and in your life. I'd love to hear anything that comes up. You have my email. All right, so pretty cool, right? That's a very simple 3 steps. By the way, when I invite you to read it like it's the best thing that's ever been written, everyone sighs and I want you to really do it. Like, that's part of belief, which we're going to get to in the last video of our series for lesson 1. But for now, we're sticking with breathing. Just a little bit more strategy. Another one that's really powerful, I just want to share, this is something that works amazingly well, is when I do 90-minute sessions with people. They're called signature story smackdowns or reinvention interventions, depending on what people's needs are. And during those sessions, just to give you a little behind the scenes, because I've been doing them, I've run this business for 12 years and I keep refining this, and it seems to be similar every time. It's extraordinary. People, usually we have psychic hairballs, like stories that are stuck in our throat chakra, the blue, and getting in the way. Remember, we were talking about things that are getting in the way of us expressing ourselves authentically. And one of them is sometimes stories get stuck, and oftentimes a lot of words come out in the first portion of the 90-minute session. Then, in order to transition and connect to the heart, so we can do on-the-spot writing, which I love to do, we take 3 breaths. And so this is an incredibly effective way to segue from the mundane into the sacred, from the logical brain into the heart language. And you can do it yourself, or you can do it in this kind of circumstance. So what you want to do is breathe deeply. Hold the breath as long as you feel like. And then like let it out like mad. Let out, blow out, scream out, whatever you feel like doing. Exhale, get rid of stuff that might be in your way. That's not verbal. We don't know what it is. Just let go of it. Try that, okay? Do that 3 times. And there's something magical about 3. And then you're in another zone. And what I do with clients is that's the moment when we stand on the magic threshold and we access. It works every time. I can't really replicate it. It might be fun to try and do it collectively. We'll see. And you stand on the threshold and the client finds, because we're always tapping inner wisdom, which is what you're doing with breath, is we find the sacred space, the safe space where you get to return to every morning when you do a morning making ritual. So those are the 2 very specific techniques that I wanted to give you, strategies that involve breath that will help you with expressing your creativity from a deep place, from a heart place, okay? And we'll continue to build on this and talk more about what does that look like, right? And then compelling, by the way, what makes something compelling? It's when there's emotion. And when you're breathing, you're connecting to what you really feel like. If you're like me, this is pretty interesting. You don't know how you feel until you do your morning making ritual or when you write. And I write to find out what I know and to surprise myself. And also, if I'm feeling one way, the word choice comes out one way, feeling another comes out another way. I see things differently. And the more I practice the breathing and rest in the intelligence of the pause, the more that I can access the deeper resonant language that's saturated and painted with emotion and will reach directly to people's hearts, because you don't have much time to connect with people. So there you have my 2 strategies using breath and connected to your writing. Let me know if those are helpful, and I will see you in the next video where we dive into belief. Believe. Breathe and believe. I'll see you soon.